And not only that, if you say, no problem, I will struggle hard, and that few minutes of sense gratification also is very valuable to me, I will enjoy it, no problem, let me take the trouble, it is worth it. You may say that. So Krishna says, but then, Adyantavantaha Kaunteya, you cannot go on enjoying it unlimitedly and for an unlimited period of time. It is Adi and Antavantaha. It has a beginning and it has an end. Some point of time or the other, that pleasure will end. You cannot enjoy it continuously, forever, day after day, minute after minute, second after second. You cannot enjoy. It will have a beginning and it will end. Some time or the other, it has to end. It will come to a stop. Full stop, it will come. After that, you cannot enjoy that sense gratification anymore. So what is the point in enjoying that such kind of pleasure, which is, to enjoy that you have to take so much difficulty, and finally what is shown to you is something else, and what is given to you is like a small tender coconut. What is shown to you, Jahangiri Shahapani. What is given, tender coconut. So what is the point? And for that you have to pay 800 rupees. What is the meaning of this? And it has a beginning and it has an end. It will not go on forever. You cannot enjoy eternally. So therefore Krishna says, Na teshu ramate buddha. An intelligent person understands the nature of material sense gratification, and therefore he does not indulge in it. He does not struggle hard to enjoy that sense gratification. But then we all have an innate ability to enjoy. We all living entities have an innate ability to enjoy. And that propensity to enjoy, that desire to enjoy is also very strong. So what to do? You mean to say we should curb all our desires to enjoy, and we should always keep ourselves in distress? Better than that is to take some distress and enjoy a little. No. So for that, Srila Prabhupada is quoting Rishabhadev from the 5th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th chapter, in the first verse. Rishabhadev is imparting lessons to his sons. And there Rishabhadev says that Nayam deho deha bhajam nriloke kashtan kaman arhate vidbhujam ye. Rishabhadev is saying, Nayam deho deha bhajam, of those who have got the body, those who are occupying the body. That means you are not the body, you are a person in the body. So for those who have occupied the human form of life, Ayam dehaha kashtan vidbhujan kaman na arhate. We do not deserve to struggle hard. Kashtan kaman. We do not deserve to struggle to enjoy the material sense gratification, which is, what kind of sense gratification is it? Vidbhujan kaman. The sense gratification which is available even to the stool-eating hogs. That kind of sense gratification to struggle for is, you having got a human form of life, you don't deserve to struggle to get that kind of sense gratification, which is available even for the stool-eating hogs. Even the stool-eating hogs also eat, they also sleep, they also mate. So if you are trying to, in the human form of life, enjoy the same sense gratification of eating, sleeping and mating, then it doesn't make sense, because that eating, sleeping and mating, the facility for enjoying that is far, far greater in the stool-eating hog. So human, having got the human form of life, you do not deserve to be enjoying sense gratification which is of the standard of stool-eating hogs. You deserve something higher. Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shuddhyed yasmad brahma saukyam tvanantam. Rishabhadev is saying, Putraka, oh my dear sons, therefore you deserve much, much higher enjoyment. You're having got the human form of life, don't relegate yourself to simply enjoying what is available even for the stool-eating hogs. You can experience much higher pleasure. Therefore, Putraka, O my sons, tapo divyam, engage in divine austerities. So, divine austerities, austerity means it's accepting voluntary displeasure. So, where is enjoyment in that? Rishabhadev says, tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shuddhyed. by engaging in divine tapodivyam, by engaging in divine tapasya austerities, we will sattvam shuddhyet. Our existence will get purified and we will elevate ourselves to shuddha sattva. And when a person is elevated to shuddha sattva, what happens? He experiences brahma saukyam. He experiences spiritual pleasure. And what is the nature of that spiritual pleasure? Because somebody will say that, okay, you are saying we can experience Brahma Saukya, spiritual pleasure. But to experience that spiritual pleasure also, you have to undergo tapasya. You have to undergo austerities. You have to undergo difficulty. So, instead of engaging in difficulty to experience Brahma Saukya, what is the problem in engaging in difficulty to experience material sense pleasure? There also difficulty is there. Here also difficulty is there. So, Rishabhadev says, Brahma Saukyam tu Anantam. The nature of that spiritual pleasure, Brahma Saukya, is, it is Ananta. It has no end. It is eternal. Once you earn that spiritual pleasure, Brahma Saukya, little bit of tapasya you take for a short period of time only. For this human form of life that you have got, in this lifetime, you dedicate it to tapas, divya tapasya. You will earn spiritual pleasure which is unending and eternal. That's all. Little difficulty you take and what rewards you get is far, far beyond your expectations. So which intelligent person will not pursue this? Therefore, an intelligent person takes up the path of devotional service and he engages in serving the Supreme Lord while following the four regulative principles of no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication strictly.